appreciate the lively debate that's going on today, and I want to speak in favor of this particular amendment. This is the Pingree-DeFazio-Polis amendment in the nature of a substitute. It strikes all of the anti-consumer and anti-farmer provisions of the underlying bill. By the way, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. This comes down to a very simple proposition. Do consumers have a right to know what is in the food they buy and that they feed to their family? As we've heard many times today, 9 out of 10 consumers say yes, they support GMO labeling. The public wants to know. More and more people care about what's in their food and where it comes from. People want to know more, not less, about what they eat. And we already know a lot about our food. We know how many calories are in it, thanks to the labels. We know how much vitamin C we get per serving. We know if a fish is farm-raised or wild-caught, and we want to know those things. We actually know if our orange juice is made from concentrate or not. Maybe not everybody wanted to know that, but it's right there on the label. Shouldn't we also be able to know if the food we are buying has GMO ingredients? I know some of the opponents of labeling have suggested that consumers might be frightened by GMO ingredients if they saw it on the label. Do we really think that consumers are not smart enough to handle this information? Do we really think that 90% of Americans are wrong to want GMO products labeled? Not only does this bill make it very unlikely that we would ever see labeling of GMO products on a national basis, it goes after the laws that have already been passed at a state level, just like my state of Maine. Our law was passed by a Democratic legislature, signed by a conservative Republican governor, and it has a huge amount of public support. But now Congress wants to tell the consumers of my state and my state legislators they can't have this basic piece of information. I guarantee you, if Congress passes this law, my state legislature and my constituents will not be happy. They do not want to see their ability to make those decisions taken away. Not only does this bill go after state labeling laws, it may also preempt laws and regulations at a local level that protect farmers from contamination by drift from GMO crops. In my state and many others, local organic farms are contributing to the economy by growing high-value, high-demand crops. Some local and county governments have created buffer zones to protect those farms from contamination from GMO crops, and we've heard from experts who say this bill would preempt these laws. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to undercut one of the fastest growing sectors in our farm economy that has been very beneficial to rural states like mine, revitalized many communities, and provided economic opportunities for our farmers? What reason would we have to go in the opposite direction? We've heard a lot of arguments about this bill today and the various components of it and why the bill is not a good idea and why my amendment, which would strike most of the egregious parts of the bill, would be a beneficial way to change this. Just to go back to my favorite example about labeling. The next time you go into a grocery store, take a look at the carton of orange juice. Right there on the front of the label, you'll see the words, "from concentrate," on most of the juice boxes. By law, those words have to appear right there on the front of the label in letters at least half as tall as the name of the brand. We're that specific. Now, the fact that we need to know the difference in that carton between fresh squeezed and made from concentrate or any other process that might have been used shows me that we have decided to have labels for almost everything you can think of except GMO ingredients. If it's so important for Americans to know whether or not their orange juice is made from a concentrate, don't you think it's reasonable to put a label somewhere on the back of a package of food telling consumers whether or not it contains GMO ingredients? This bill, if it's passed by the House, will effectively guarantee that consumers won't have access to that information when they go to the grocery store. This bill will take away the rights of states like mine in Maine to pass laws that protect our consumers. States like Maine, Vermont, who have already passed laws like this, will not have the right to proceed. The Pingree-DeFazio-Polis amendment will strike the worst parts of this bill. I urge all of my colleagues to support this amendment And I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentlewoman yields back the balance of her time. Gentleman from Kansas.